going to talk about today about the blue-green deployment approach, right? So we all basically the site code like work in site code, right? So the basic problem with blue-green addresses that we all face a problem that whenever we go to live, so we face a problem that client generally asks that we don't want any downtime during the release, right? People over the time have found hacks to it. I will call it as a hack. They take the one CD out of the load balancer, then deploy it, then do all these things. But this is not an ideal way to do it. Now these are modern words. Now the cloud and AWS, they have all have invented some fantastic solutions. So one of this approach is a blue-green approach. So I'm going to talk about that. Let's talk about the table of contents first. We will talk about the deployment objectives. That what are the deployment objectives we have generally when we, what are the things that client generally asks. And we talk about what is a blue-green. We talk about the basic definition of blue-green. We will talk about the deployment slots. I don't know how many of you are aware of, but this is the basics of the blue-green approach. And we will talk about the data sync approaches. So we talk about this in more detail. This is where it took a lot of time to invent how the data sync is going to happen. We're going to talk about the logical model for the blue-green, right? How the entire the blue-green was being structured and how various, the physical model of the blue-green, how does the swapping happen and all that. And next we'll talk about the process flow and how does the entire process flow it works. So when we were working on this approach, so every time we want to discuss something, we come up with a different solution that we're going to do this. This is going to work, that's going to work. So we had multiple discussions, so ultimately we came up with one process flow, and how the process flow is going to work among the various actors of the solution, right? And next we'll talk about the Azure DevOps pipelines. We use the Azure DevOps when we invented this solution, although it's not limited to Azure DevOps, but we follow the pipeline-based architecture, right? So whenever we used to do a release on the production environment or the staging environment before we do the production, we will test it. So we have invented the pipeline space, like the multiple steps, so that we can use or we can reinvent those pipelines. So that is a way. So these are the general deployment expectations. I think you could correlate to each one of these expectations we generally client asks. First is that we're going to deploy the database changes along with the binaries. We all know that whenever we deploy the Sitecores, whenever we do the Sitecore deployment, we have the binary. We don't only have the binaries. We have the Sitecore database changes as well, right? Another thing which I talk about is client says, don't even touch dare to start my live site. It's a critical site. I don't want even a 1 second of downtime, right? That's one aspect. Another is that we like option to roll back. Anything happens, right? So we generally have, we take a backup of the database, we store, then it takes a lot of time, right? So there is no quick approach, right? If you want to roll back to the previous version, there is no way, right? Unless you say that I'm going to restore my database, right? Restore the previous build. So all these options I have, right? But there is no solid proof that is going to work. It's gets very jittery when you have to roll back, right? And the option is, and the last but not the least is that entire process should be fully automated and it should be like fully repeatable, right? So these are the 4 general expectations. You have more, but these are the general 4 I can think of. Whenever you're doing any release, these are 4.
Amit, please duplicate the screen.
Sorry,
duplicate the screen.
Duplicate. Okay. Now I want to talk about the challenge, that why this is a challenge. Talk about briefly, we'll talk about the more detail, right? So Sitecore is a CMS with a shared data layer, right? Shared I means that multiple CDs have like one database, we don't have like multiple databases. And data isn't only owned by the development team. We have the Sitecore owns the schema, the authors own the entire content, and like there are 4 different players. We have the Sitecore as a player, the authors as a player, and we have end users, right, who actually generate, right? If there is a XTB, the Sitecore X generates a lot of data. So there is a lot of 3-way relationship between the web app, search, and Xconnect. And of course, there is an lot of interdependencies and relationship between XDB and SQL and all the search indexes, right? So all these three, three entities make the relationship quite complex. And during your deployment, you have to manage all three of them very beautifully, unless things can go very difficult. Right. So this is a blue-green model. If you Google it, search what is blue-green. This is the first. This is most of the time you're going to see this. So I'm going to explain that what does this means, right? So blue-green generally means we're going to have two identical environments, right? One blue and one green. So don't relate it by saying the green is live or like the blue is live. It's just a term we use. Say the green is blue, like anything. So either of the environment is live. So one environment is live and one is not, and environment is not live. I'm not saying green is live, but anything can be live at the moment, right? So what happens is if you see that the process flow where so we have assumed that the traffic at any point of time being served from the green environment. Like that is my existing state at the moment. I'm serving from green for a moment, and I am at the n minus one. And my blue is at the n minus one. Right now, that is where I am, where my most critical steps are. Right now, I'm going to start doing my release on the blue cluster, right? And I'm going to do at the n plus one. Okay, note it's not n, it's n plus one because when the traffic is being already served from n, I'm going to make this n plus one, right? Now, code you can deploy any point of time to make it n plus one because binaries will be updated recently, right? But there is a gap between n and the n plus one. Right? There is a database which is being updated during the course of time. As I explained during my previous slides, that database might have changed. The authors might have added a lot of things to it. A lot of data would have generated, indexes would have got updated. So I have to find a way where my data, my database for the blue is being synced with the green. So that is where I think takes a lot of it took a lot of time for us to invent because we took like multiple approaches during our course of time when we were inventing the solution. Right, we thought on multiple options. One option we thought was that we will freeze. We'll ask the authors to freeze the content. Right, they will not do any authoring of the content. But client said that if it's a longer duration, I cannot agree to that. Right, I cannot freeze my CMS authoring. Right, so you have to keep on doing it. So if authoring is on, then then I have to think of some other options because green is always being added, so database is already added. So I have to think of an approach where the database is being synced at a regular period of time. So we discuss those approaches, what are the approaches we took, but just an overview. And once this happens, release is done, everything, I do the swap. Right, so I do a swap. Like the swap happens between the green and blue, and we talk about that how swap happens. But this is how the high level, the process is there. Right. So one feature without which the viewing is not possible is the deployment slots. So deployment slots is a feature which is available only in the premium Azure subscription, right? If you want to do with the dev, all you can do it and dev in the queue. I've written my second point if you want it, but it's not a cheap affair. It costs you some money, and so that's why it's like allowed. Generally, clients do it only on the staging and the production environment, right? So deployment slots are a feature of the Azure App Service, right? And what you do is that you deploy your application on two different slots, right? So the production slot is say from where the live app results. The beauty is that whenever you are like swapping between the green and the blue, either the authors will see the n version or they will see the n plus one version. At no point of time they will say that my system is down, my page is down. That will not happen, right? So that we tested in multiple times. Like the testing window was used to be only 5 or 6 seconds because the swapping happens very quickly. So that 5 or 6 seconds you have to be very aware of what is happening. If there is a downtime, users see the downtime within 5 or 6 those seconds, and it means my entire objective of of the doing is not being served. So that 5 or 6 seconds is a window where you have to test whether there's a downtime or not. Another is so that authors see only into one version, either n version or the n plus one version. So at no point they see the page is down, site is down, something is going wrong. That never happens, right? And next I'm going to talk about the database sync approaches, as I told you previously, that that we saw that diagram where it was n+1 and n, right? And the database has to be synced between the two environments. So these are the three approaches. Actually, we thought of doing it. All they are fine, but it all depends upon what use case you want to use. In case, so the first approach is that is we create a high availability group between the two SQL databases. This is the Azure feature, right? We actually so that we discuss next, and we have the option two, where copy. This is the traditional approach, right? We copy the green database, we can clone it, we can sync it, whatever we can do. This is a traditional approach. Right? I thought as a traditional approach because there is nothing new we are inventing; it's all the same. And option three is, we use the Azure SQL database approach. This is called the hub and spoke model, where the two databases can be synced. One is the hub, and the other is the spoke. So that's how we sync the two databases. Right? Note that the option one and three are possible when your client says that I don't want to stop my authoring. Right? My data will always be added in one database in green, and I notes point. I want the system to be live. Right? So in that case, you can use option one and three. If your client agrees, says that yeah, I'm fine to have 20 minutes of CMS authoring, I can stop, then you're good to do with option two, right? But option one and three will cost you more money as well. Yeah, so that's okay. And next is I'm talking about a little bit detail about the Azure SQL on the high availability approach. So this is I haven't explored it before I started this implementation. So there is a way between where between the two SQL databases you can have always on option. Remote secondary replica with the always option on quite a lengthy word. So so that's where you can set between the two database availability groups. You can set the time period that after how much time your database will constantly be replicated between the green and the blue. So always so that's a way this is also used to have a high availability, like in case somebody wants to have wants high availability between the two databases. That is the approach you can also use to have it, right? So we did this, it was fine successfully. So if client asks tomorrow, we can switch over to the new one, right? And this is what I'm talking about, option three, which is about the hub and the spoke model, right? So my primary database is green, right? So I can switch over between the hub and the spoke, because when the swapping happens, my blue becomes a hub and the green becomes a spoke. So that swapping has to happen. We documented that using the PowerShell scripts as well. So you can keep on synchronizing between the hub and the spoke model, right? And next we'll talk about the process flow of the blue-green deployment model. And before we go, I want to talk about what are the major elements that we have, like the deployment model, generally the way it looks like. So we have over here the CM app service plan, right? We have CM, we have CD, and they are like different app services deployed on different app service plan. We have these databases, right? So which are linked to here, which are linked to the core master form and Redis. Assume the Redis is like very important because Redis is where the Sitecore stores all its cache data and the sessions data, to improve the performance, right? So Redis is same across both the blue and green, right? So if you swap those, it means the user is going to lose their session or going to lose their caching data. So we are not doing anything with the Redis, right? And the rest of the services are my Xconnect app services, process reporting, everything, right? So all those services are there, which remain as it is between the blue and the green. So we are not touching those app services and the databases. And apart from that, I have some supporting Azure services being used, application insights, CMS logs, Azure alerts, and they still remains the same. We have not touched that, but we know how to change that. If we want to change the application insights, change point towards one Azure group to another, we can change the settings inside Sitecore. So that is not an issue. That's not a major task. And other important thing to use is that this is a hybrid model, and the Solar is used in IES model. So that's another challenge, right? So whenever you're going to set up, you want to have the separate green and the blue, the blue and the green Solar models for both of them, right? So that's where you're going to approach, get the pure high availability approach between the blue and the green. Any questions so far? Sorry, what were you asking? Thank you.
Amit?
Yeah.
is this deployment model only possible for the PaaS, or if my application is on IaaS, my database is in Azure, there also we can have this?
Yes, definitely you can have it.
There also.
Yes, you can have it there as well. This is not dependent on PaaS or IaaS. This is possible anywhere. Right? You can use it, but I'm using this this deployment model for uh, for my demonstration, right? Because I did it in PaaS, I know that this is possible in the IaaS as well. It's going to be relatively easy, I think, in the IaaS because you have a lot of control over the underlying services. I know you have control over the underlying drives in the system, but in PaaS you don't have that control. Okay. So this is what my logical flow looks like. Okay. So this is my CD green, this is my CD blue. Both of them are different, and both of them have their own solar, green solar and the blue solar. And as I said, that Redis is one which is like same for like both of them. So Redis is not going to change, and both of them have got their own database as well, like blue and the green. Okay. So we'll discuss on the next step that how does the entire process work. But there are three important steps out there, right? So one is that one is the database sync, which we talked earlier. Before you do the release, you have to do a database sync between the green and the blue. That we already spoke about. And the next is point number 2 is we have to update CM configuration. Why we need to update that configuration is because when my database connection string has changed from green to blue, you need to change inside CM that where my publishing will happen, right? So that has to happen. That the settings will need to be updated inside the CM to point towards my new web database, right? So that has to happen. And number 3 is going to swap the slots. So that is my entire logical architecture. That's how it works. Yeah. Okay. So this is my entire process flow. Went through multiple discussions between our team, right? So there are multiple authors, multiple actors, to this entire process. One is the pipelines, right, where we have written our entire piece of the code or the pipelines. We have the authors, we have the Sitecore ARM templates, we have CM, we have CD, we have web, Solar, and users, and on the other side we have CD, web, and Solar, right? So all these are various, the important role players in the entire stuff, right? So first, as I told that, we had closed with the client in this case that, we will freeze publishing in this case. So, to be safer for the first few months when the process gets mature, yes, we can switch over to the high availability SQL groups or the option 3, which I mentioned previously. But for this case, we are assuming that authors will go to CM and the publishing would be freeze for the time window we are doing the release. Okay. And we have assumed, so for this process I am assuming the users traffic is being served from the green. Yeah. Okay, and next is, as I mentioned, that I'm going to sync the databases from like CD green to CD blue, and that is we already discussed that using 3 approaches. So that will sync my databases. Now from here, what will happen is when my database sync has happened, I'm going to switch. I want to switch the CM publishing target to CD blue, right? If the database has changed, I want to do that as well, right? And another point is I'm going to update my Solar endpoint as well, okay? And Solar endpoint has to be changed from CM to point to Solar blue, okay? And next is my pipelines. So note that all of these steps are being invoked from the pipelines, right? So so deploying the code, we will deploy our code, Sitecore atoms, everything. We will run our pipelines. We will deploy our code, everything to the CM. We will invoke the unicorn sync. We are using unicorn here. It will invoke, do the release, and that's what's going to happen. I'm missing one step here. We're going to do a sanity check over here. Right, we just put a pause, but over the time when our process matured, we know that things are going to be fine because we've tested these steps in our lower environment, so we are not bothered much that it's going to be okay, right? So, and next is that once this is done, we're going to deploy we're going to do the same steps for the CD as well, right? To point the config to our CD blue, stiff Sitecore atoms and whatever, and we are going to do the publishing to the to the CD blue, and the next is. Once the publishing has been done, although we have got the indexing strategy in place, we make sure that whenever the publishing happens, the indexing also gets triggered by using Solar indexing strategies. But to be doubly sure, we inside our PowerShell scripts, what we have done is we have written rebuild the solar indexes. So every time we just make sure that the green is automatically blue environment is automatically being set with the new indexes. Okay, and after this, once this is done, rebuild done. So I take a pause here and we test the blue slot totally because this is going to be my new production environment. Like we spend like 10 to 15 minutes. So the testers are not in hurry to test. They can test as much as they want, 15 minutes, 20 minutes, half an hour, because my site is not down. Right? They can test as much as they want. Right? Once this is being tested, it's fine. So I can like do a final swap, uh, of my the blue slots, and that's how my collection getting occurs, and my traffic is being served from the green to blue. Now all the users will be pointed towards the blue. Yeah. And like I'm going to talk about the pipelines that So there are three pipelines that we made. Okay. So this was a screenshot that I taken when I was doing my last production release, because now I can do the production release just because we are doing this meet. So I've taken the screenshots when we were doing the last release. So these are the staging ones, but these are the three pipelines that we have used. So one is the clone production app, which is we just take the in this case we take a green database copy and push it on a blue, and all these tasks have been done as a part of my clone production app. So in this case, you can see that 2 or 6 tasks are there and the process is in place. And next is the production deployment. Here, what happens is I do my unicorn sync. All the processes automatically swapping. Everything happens during this process, and this is in progress again. And then the final is I do my swap and my release is done. Right? So I tried hard for this demo to have something in place so that I could show in live that how does a blue-green deployment occurs. But I think the process was pretty time consuming and I couldn't make a demo, so that's why I'm sorry. I could just have these slides for you. Yeah, that's all for me. Any questions? Anything? Yeah, I could answer for you. If not, I will hand over later. Yeah. Yes.
So for this swap, are you using any tools
Sorry.
for this swap, blue to green and green to
Tools we're using Azure DevOps, and we are using the PowerShell scripts. So beauty of Azure DevOps is that it works very well with anything which is related to Microsoft, right? And Sitecore has also provide I think many inbuilt apps, they call it as, right, which can be used, right? So you were to swap, you were to do the transformation of any XML file or anything, that is all being put in inbuilt tag. So you save a lot of effort, right? On the top of that, the beauty of Azure DevOps is that you can control the entire flow, right? From dev to QA to UAT to stage to production. You can control that who approves. Each step is an approval-based process, right? So if, for example, in my case, if I only approve the build, so I'm an architect, right? So I approve the build for dev, it goes to QA, right? And once QA then approves the build, it goes to UAT. So QA person has to literally go and approve the build, once he says the build is fine. So that is why we have preferred to use the Azure DevOps. Yeah. Yes, sir.
As you said, that Redis caches help to maintain the session. Suppose we are having the e-commerce site and the person is about to doing the checkout. The user is about to doing the checkout for any product.
Mm-hmm.
So that Redis cache is helpful to maintain, and at the same time we are switching the server from.
If you see the diagram, right, I'm not switching Redis.
No, not Redis. When we are switching the server from blue to green, so the Redis help to maintain the session or the.
Yes, Redis will still remain the same because my end user session, right, will just switch over. It will not impact. Although I haven't tested this because my application was not using any user session, but that was the whole idea that this Redis remains there it is, right? It's not changing. But my idea is that it will not impact, right? Because all the sessions, all the caches data is being stored out of the process, so that will not impact. Because we tested the caching. Caching was never impacted, right? Because if you are switching between the CDs and all the stuff, although we upscaled this Redis app service during our release, because the Redis the app service which is being provided by Sitecore, whatever size it provides, it is not enough to have the cache sizes of the session. So we have to upscale our Redis to next level, I think, or even higher than that. So that is the only thing that we have to change. Apart from that, everything else works fine.
One more question.
Yeah.
This is like in this infrastructure, one of the part like the blue or the green, either one person, one is every time is idle, either blue or green, right?
Yes.
So
So
it's
good
like
question.
for the costing.
Yes, absolutely. So what we have done is, so after the first release, so what we do is that we actually delete the staging slot as well, right? So we don't do that. But remember, during my first slide, I have mentioned an option to roll back, right? So I don't delete it immediately. Suppose if something goes wrong, right, during the production goes down, right? At any point of time, something happened during the production, right? Some authoring goes wrong, right? I can always switch over to my staging slot. Although the content would not be there, it will not be updated, but we can do that, right? So that's also the option. But in this case, in our case, I think we don't have much complication. So we used to delete a staging slot before we used to start the fresh deployment. We used to get a staging slot afresh. Yeah.
When CD, if they are in different regions, like it's a US region, like China region,
Uh-huh.
so are they still part of the same region deployment, or we have to do something different for those region-wise deployments?
So idea is that so let me ask you a question. You are saying that if your CDs are in different regions, right? So in this case, what is that we have provisioned in the East US group. Okay, so both my CD apps are in different are in same resource group. But I think that if you're going to provision your two CD environments, you're going to replica same for the blue as well. I don't think that's going to change much. But I think you are going to get the performance impacted, right? If your traffic for the like the US user is server out of China, then you know that like there will be network latency, right? And that will be an issue then.
So what we're trying to target is if a user is coming from China.
Yeah, that CD you can deploy in China.
Yes.
Yes.
So the CD server is still in China, and the users that are coming from US, those CD servers are still in US. So we are bifurcating the traffic.
Yeah.
If the user is coming from China, they will target the CD servers in the China.
Yeah.
So that's bifurcated. So when I'm doing this blue-green deployment, right, those CD servers are a part of my whole green when I do a slot green, right? So these two CD servers can they block from different regions in the same region?
I actually, to be honest, I haven't tried this, but I think when you are provisioning the resource group, it asks you that what zone you're going to provision this, right? I feel that you are going to require different zones. You have to provision both these CDs in a different zone. This is how I feel. I haven't tried that, but I'll give it a shot and let you know.
Because that is what we were thinking also right now. In that case, we will have to create a blue-green deployment for that CD server which is in China region.
Yeah.
And another blue-green deployment for the US which is in the US region.
Yes. So I think what I feel is
But
that
the
you still
master will be same now. So logically it should be a one only.
CM is okay.
no.
No, content will be served from the same to the different region, right? So logically content changes is happening in the CM, correct? So logically if you are doing the blue green, then all should be come in a same blue green only.
Yeah, but I think that's a restriction, like
Very
when we
different
from different regions, that is where it adds to complexity.
Yes, I think you will read two different regions. You will need to provision, and I think that will have some complexity over there. I think you can't provision within a single resource group, two CDs belonging to two different regions. You can't do that. Azure doesn't allow that.
There are APAC, EMEA kind of different regions set up.
Yeah.
So I think that blue green both will be APAC wise different and EMEA wise different kind of things. Means in each region there will be blue and green both set up.
So let me ask you a question. You are saying that if I am it's a similar question I think what Brijesh is asking, right? So you're saying that if I have my APAC, China, and every so I have different CDs being deployed out of different. So even the blue and the green. So blue has to map exactly the green.
Yeah. Means it maybe CM are also different for different tools wise.
No. CM is going to be the same. So the blue green is not meant for CMS. That's not the scope. That's not
CD is
only CD.
will be coming to a picture of blue green.
we again had the same request like our client, the content doctors are in China and some of the content doctors are in US. So they wanted to have the same as well to deploy to different regions. But that's not what we limited them to. CM should only be one, otherwise there will be a race condition.
Yes. So there are solutions to this, right? So you can have like database application between the two databases can be set and all this can be set, but there will always be ifs and buts. If this go doesn't, what happens? So it will not be ideal solution, but yes, something I think you can definitely do. But nothing would be ideal. I think the Sitecore, it's a if you see the Sitecore licensing model as well, their licensing model is based on per master DB license, right? So the moment you spin off a new master DB, a new master CM with a new master, they say that there's an extra license. So that's also a limitation from Sitecore as well.